Recording. And something that just occurred to me, we're gonna do live transcription. All right. So I'm gonna get this meeting started at 6:05 p.m. Welcome everyone to the Student Government Association meeting of the 21st of February, 2022. Got a busy docket for us today. Today is also President's Day, in case you guys were wondering why there were some like businesses and whatnot that were closed. Maybe younger siblings or kids were home from school, and that is why. So, Malavika, will you please conduct our roll call?
Yes, Arts and Sciences Student Council.
College of Arts and Sciences Student Council, Lawrence with support, present.
Block School Student Association.
Block School Student Association, Kerrigan Rohach, present.
Block School Student Association, Matt Sliney, present.
Collegiate Panhellenic Council.
Collegiate Panhellenic Council, Haley Prinz, present.
Conservatory Student Association.
Conservatory Student Association, Brett Boyer, present.
Graduate Student Council.
Eli Fair, Graduate Student Council, present.
Interfraternity Council.
Interfraternity Council, Reese Wood, present.
Medical School Advisory Council.
Medical School Advisory Council, Stephanie Kim, present.
Medical School Advisory Council, Eric Rampali, present.
Multicultural Student Organization Council.
Nabil Abbas, Multicultural Student Organization, I'm here.
National Panhellenic Council. Pharmacy Student Council.
Pharmacy Student Council, Amy Janowski, present.
Pharmacy Student Council, Zach Painter, present.
School of Biological and Chemical Sciences Student Council.
School of Biological and Chemical Sciences Student Council. Sorry, I just got our class.
Okay, School of Computing and Engineering Student Council.
School of Computing and Engineering Student Council, Reagan Dunn, present.
School of Computing and Engineering Student Council, Ashton Weeks, present.
School of Dentistry Student Council.
School of Dentistry Student Council, Alexandria Thomas, present.
School of Dentistry, Mackenzie Williams, present.
School of Education Council.
Oh my gosh. School of Education Council, Jessica Metter, present.
School of Law.
School of Law, Ryan Head, present.
School of Law, McGregor Greenlee, present.
Sexuality and Gender Alliance Council. Student Athlete Advisory Council.
Student Athlete Advisory Council, Micaiah Mullins, present.
Student Council of Nursing and Health Studies.
Nursing and Health Studies, Joey Gamble, present.
Nursing and Health Studies, Lizzie Johnson, present.
Senators at Large.
Quinn Tran, Senator at Large, present.
Sigi Rudnick, Senator at Large, present.
Duke Porter, Senator at Large, present.
And I believe we're at quorum with 26 participants.
All right. If you joined in the middle of roll call and you did not hear your position called, or you were unsure of whether or not you were supposed to respond, if you are a senator, please directly message Malavika so that way we can get the attendance updated and make it as accurate as possible. All right. Now that we've finished roll call, do we have a motion to approve the minutes of last meeting?
Motion to approve.
I second.
Minutes have been approved. We have no guest speakers tonight. Committee reports. Chair Sagi Rudnick of the Public Relations Committee, Senator at Large. What is your report?
Hey, folks, I don't have anything specific that's new from last time. But yeah, it's great to see everybody. Nothing new this week, though.
Great to see you too, Sagi. All right, Senate Resolutions Committee, Chair Haley Prinz of the Collegiate Panhellenic Council. What is your report?
Hello, everyone. Similar to Sagi, we haven't had a lot of action this past week due to our meeting falling on Valentine's Day. With no pressing matters to discuss past week, I let everybody have their holiday. But we do look forward to meeting this coming week and hopefully having some new stuff to discuss.
Great. Looks like I've got a message in chat. So Rupak Bappa for Graduate Student Council is present, Malavika. Like I said, directly message Malavika, not me. And last but certainly not least, our Internal Affairs Committee Chair, President Pro Tem Brett Boyer of the Conservatory Student Association. What is your report?
Well, I actually have a small report to give you. So at our last meeting, we did have our hearing for the 3 Supreme Court nominees. And then after a good questioning and then a deliberation period, we voted to unanimously send all 3 of them to the full Senate for their consideration tonight.
So you are saying that all 3 of our candidates tonight have the approval and recommendation of the IAC?
Yes, that is correct.
Thank you, Brett. Action items, old business, follow for follow. Link is on the agenda as always. New business, obviously the Supreme Court nominee confirmation hearings, as well as we have the act to increase at large positions, the vote on it. So I would like to point out our nominees here in the meeting. We have Kerrigan Rojas, we have Corbin Healy, and we have Emma Kate Dillon. Thank you guys for joining us and making time out of surely busy schedules. So I would like to open up to the senators for questions for our nominees here to begin our hearing proceedings.
Could we have the candidates introduce themselves prior to the beginning of questioning?
All right. Let's just go alphabetically. Kerrigan Rojas.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kerrigan. I am currently an undergraduate studying business administration. I will graduate next spring in hopes of continuing my education to law school to become a patent attorney.
Thank you. Corbin Healy.
Hi, everyone. My name is Corbin Healy. I'm currently a first-year student at UMKC Law School. I graduated undergrad at Southern Methodist University in Dallas, Texas, and I'm super excited for this opportunity. Thanks so much for being here to hear me.
Thank you for joining us. And last but not least, Emma Kate Dillon.
Hey guys, my name is Emma Kate. I am also a 1L at the law school here. I graduated this May from the University of Arkansas, and there I was involved in a lot, including most recently, I was the student body secretary.
Thank you so much, you 3. So Like I said, I'd like to open up the floor for the senators to ask questions to our nominees. Please make sure to use the raise your hand function. And I will call on you to ask your question. Senator Ryan Head.
Thank you. My question would be the same initially for all candidates, and that is what they see the role of the Supreme Court in the student Senate and how they can fulfill that role as a justice.
So for me, I believe that the role entails being a voice for the students in the sense of they can bring concerns to the Supreme Court instead of issues that the administration would typically handle. This way, their opinions and their conflict is handled by people who have their best interests at hand. And we make sure it's fair to students and not just what the administration sees fit. And I believe that that's something I can do. I'm able to stay partial, listen to all the facts before making a decision, and something I'd be proud to do for the school.
Sure, I completely agree with what Kerrigan, had to say. I think that the Supreme Court justices serve as a pillar of unbiasedness and open ears for concerns or cases that are brought to the court. I think that to best handle those cases, you have to go in and hear both sides and read read everything and understand the facts of what's going on. I think that to best fulfill that looks like being diligent with the work that you put into understanding the circumstances of the case that are involved, and being willing to hear both parties in the most wholesome way possible.
Just adding on to that, I would say that SGA is a governing body, just like the United States has a governing body, and the UMKC Supreme Court obviously has a little bit of a different role than our Supreme Court in the United States, but we still are going to be looking at questions and controversies and any kind of questions arising from any governing documents and making sure that we are able to look at those in a fair and equitable way.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, thank you. Do we have any other questions? I'm sure there's stuff that our senators would like to ask. Senator Haley Prinz.
Hello, y'all. Congratulations on getting here. What, in your opinions, in your recent experience, makes you a really qualified person for this position?
For me, I think there'd be two things. The first is I coach a 4th grade volleyball team, and I understand how that not all players are equal and that some have bigger strengths than others. And I'm not going to, jeopardize my integrity to place players in positions to win. And so I am able to look at a whole situation, understand to help people grow and help people get up to the point where they can work hard to all become equal and do what's best for all the kids. But another thing would be I work in the healthcare field, and I deal a lot with HIPAA and different laws and regulations. And I have a great skill of taking those laws, interpreting them, and telling the patient them in a way that's not all medical mumbo jumbo. It's very simple terms, help them understand what's going on and make sure they understand how HIPAA works, how different qualifications work, how their care and how they can refuse care. And so that's been a big strength of mine these past few years, and I am determined to bring that to the court.
Sure. So one recent experience that I had that I think makes me uniquely qualified for this position was my senior year at SMU, which would have been just this last year. I served as our student government's organizations committee chair. In that role, I was responsible for, I was the gatekeeper essentially for all organizations at SMU, whether that means them getting their charter status, us making sure that they were up to date with their bylaw adherence to Texas state law. It's a long list of things. During that experience, not only was I responsible for forming a committee, but also maintaining that committee to where we heard applicants come in who wanted to start organizations, people who had not been up to standard, and to make decisions about what we should do with their charter status. One part of that experience that stands out to me was we spearheaded the first ever student government bylaw amendment at SMU to be more inclusive of LGBTQ plus members in student organizations. And I think that going through that experience, hearing every side of every story, and working with a committee to help finalize an opinion to move forward was a really great experience that will help me best fulfill this position. And also being in law school has been certainly helpful. My days are filled with reading both sides of cases and having to form analysis on that. And so I think between those two things, I have experience that will help me fulfill this position.
I agree with Corbin on the law school aspect of that. Just a lot of what we do is looking at cases and judicial opinions. So that definitely gives us experience. And then, like I said in my little introduction, I was pretty involved at the University of Arkansas, several different things, our Title IX Student Advisory Committee, the Student Alumni Executive Board, but probably most relevant to this would be my involvement in our student government. I was involved in several of our branches of student government at Arkansas, including our executive cabinet as the director of communications. I was on our advocacy group, who we did a lot of policy work. And then during my time as student body secretary, I actually got to continue a lot of that policy work. And probably one of the most significant experiences recently from that was that we were able to effectively invoke change in a policy, which basically changed both school policy and state policy on alcohol amnesty and opioid amnesty. And I think that's just a really good recent experience of the power that a student leader can have on fellow students. And so really for this position, I just think it's really fun and really interesting and really empowering how a student leader can really make a difference with the whole student body.
Thank you so much. Do we have any other questions? I did put a message in the chat. So basically, if anyone on the IAC asked a question during your preliminary hearings for these three candidates that you think would be beneficial to be asked now in front of the whole Senate so everybody can hear those responses, I would accept those. If anyone can think of anything, then
I have a question real quick, Duke.
Senator Sagi.
Thank you. So this is for all three of you. I'm just hoping to have a quick conversation about transparency, and I'm just curious to hear what the three of you think just about transparency in general in this position, but also how will you be able to avoid impropriety or the appearance of impropriety in terms of personal relationships, should anything come up that you for some reason have some sort of personal attachment to, that you might be better to recuse yourself. So kind of how would the three of you approach those situations to maintain transparency and accountability?
Thanks for that question. I think it's very important for this position. And obviously, if it was a situation in which I was involved in the organization or I knew the people directly, I would definitely recuse myself, step away, and not give my input. However, it's a major important part of being a Supreme Court justice is not to be impartial, be impartial. Don't show favoritism. Look at all the facts of the case. And I would never take someone's side just because I know them or anything. It would be inappropriate to do so. And so you really have to look at all the facts of the case and do what's fair and just to the students and not allow your personal beliefs to get in the way. And that's something I take integrity in, and I believe I can do that 100%.
I completely agree. In terms of the transparency question, I mean, this is a student government, or student government association for students by students, and so I think that it is of the utmost importance to make sure that students who are potentially involved with the cases that we're working on, or even those who are not, are able to collect information that is necessary to understand how their student life and student experience at UMKC is being affected. In terms of remaining impartial, I completely agree with what Kerrigan had to say. If it was someone or a situation that I was somehow uniquely involved with or uniquely familiar with, then I feel completely comfortable recusing myself. However, if it's something that is not drastic in terms of connection with my, with the situation and myself, then I agree. I think being impartial is very important. And that is something that will retain through all cases, whether it's something that I've heard happened or is completely fresh to me.
Transparency is really just vital to maintaining the student approval of the organization, which also is how the organization is going to be able to accomplish things. But definitely when it comes to being impartial, if we are looking at any kind of an issue as a Supreme Court, we're not basing those decisions off of our opinions or our preconceived notions. We're basing those decisions off of the UMKC Constitution. And so when we're looking at that, I think it's very easy for any of us to set any kind of bias aside, because that's not the point of what we're doing. That we're trying to make the decision that is best according to the Constitution, and that is the most equitable decision.
Thank you very much. Do we have any other questions?
Actually, I have a question real quick. One more for y'all. So I'm just
Absolutely.
curious. Oh, thank you, Duke. So obviously, the huge part of this position is interpreting the Constitution and, kind of knowing it inside out so you can apply it to decisions and whatnot. So I was just curious, do any of you have kind of a favorite part of our Constitution as SGA, or a part that you think you'd like to see changed for whatever reason? Kind of either. And this is open to any of you guys.
So being a senator, I have read the Constitution. I've worked with you guys in Quinn's amazing edits, and everyone has worked really hard on that. I think the thing I would change is definitely more Senate seats now that we're changing. And so if I would vote in the thing today, I would definitely vote to approve that, just because I believe it is necessary. I would maybe change the process on how the senators are elected. I feel like sometimes we are not focusing on everyone and limiting it to those who are in upper grades and not so much the lower. And I think the first year students council has been great. But otherwise, I think the council that has written the Constitution has done great, and I wouldn't see much to change otherwise than that.
Sure. So one thing that stuck out to me when reading through the Constitution is very similar to what I dealt with at SMU, which was the non-discrimination clause. I'm not sure, and I've searched and I was unable to find if there are additional clauses that are required by the student government for organizations to individually sign for their memberships. Regardless, in the Constitution is pretty much copy and paste of what I experienced at SMU, which we ultimately found to be problematic in terms of relationships of organizations and potential parent affiliates. I could sit here and talk for hours about potential issues with that. So I'll save that unless anybody else has specific questions about that. But that was the one thing, or first thing and biggest thing that jumped out. Another thing that I thought was interesting in all three branches, you have different delineations and wordings of what we're learning about in one of our classes right now called necessary and proper clauses, which I thought could be fleshed out potentially more in terms of how decisions are made. But those are the two biggest things that jumped out to me.
Right off the bat of reading the Constitution, there was nothing that really jumped out to me as being problematic just from my experience. At Arkansas, we went through a very long and grueling code and constitution process that lasted 2 years, sitting on a committee, going through and changing some of those things like Corbin talked about, basic wording. Also, ours was mostly changing a lot of student fees and how those were allocated. But looking at it right now, I haven't felt like I've been at UMKC long enough to see the processes of the student government to its full term. I haven't seen a full year of it yet. So at this moment, there's nothing that I could say definitively that I think needs to be changed.
Thank you. President Pro Tem Brett Boyer.
Based off of that previous question, I have two follow-ups for all of you. The first one you can just answer by a simple nodding of the head. We did recently pass the Constitutional Revision Act, so have you read the updated version with the changes that were made a couple weeks ago?
If that was the most recent one that I was able to access online, then yes.
Yes.
I'm not entirely sure if we've updated it on the RU groups or not, but we did make those. Okay, so the second one is, was that a really fair question to answer? Because your job is to interpret the Constitution regardless of whether you think it should be changed or not. So I guess my question is, was it fair to answer the previous question about whether you think we should change it or not, considering you don't really have the power in your branch to change it?
That's a good point. I think it is kind of a question that I was looking at more from a current senator position, more so than a Supreme Court, which I would switch my headspace once in that position. I think being in the SGA meetings every week, I was coming at it from a senator, like I said. So I do see that in terms of we need to stay impartial and we don't need to change things, and we're up to interpret them and just enforce them. And so I do agree.
I mean, I agree as well. The question was, if you could change something in the Constitution, what would you change? It wasn't what will you change or what do you think that you can change? And so I completely echo with what Kerrigan has to say.
I mean, I agree to the extent that I didn't say anything should be changed, but if I had, yes, I agree. I think that from that standpoint, we're all thinking about it as looking at the document as a whole, not really in the perspective of, obviously in this role, that is not something that we are given the power to do.
Could I follow up now, Duke?
I would like to have Ryan ask his question.
Oh, sorry, that's
and
right.
then I
Ryan had a
will-
question. That's right. Sorry. Go ahead, Ryan.
Senator Ryan.
Thanks, guys. My question is for Mr. Healy. You did answer the question. So I'm curious, you had some ideas about the non-discrimination clause and some of the necessary and proper clauses, fleshing those out a little more. Based on that, I wonder if you've ever thought that maybe your talents or energies could be put to better use as a senator than as a Supreme Court justice, and why would you prefer to be a Supreme Court justice than a senator, I guess is my question.
Sure, that's a great question. So to go back to what I was asked when I gave my answer talking about necessary and proper as well as the organization and non-discrimination clause, I was just answering the question at hand about what were things that I could see that could potentially be changed. However, as I said previously, I understand completely that in this role that I seek, that is not my job. And I am far more concerned and far more interested in serving in a role that finds an equitable resolution to potential problems that would arise from organizations that adhere to this constitution or that adhere to the bylaws set forth in student government. It is not my job, nor is my place to do those things. I simply am interested in making sure that if there is a dispute that arises from groups wanting to obey or not obey the rules set forth by student government and UMKC, that I can have an impartial yet wholesome analysis of those issues. I don't think that there's a problem with being as a Supreme Court justice and to analyze the Constitution and maybe have potential ideas or suggestions, as long as I can understand and respect that that is not my place, and I intend to do so full-heartedly.
Thank you, Mr. Healy.
All right, Senator Segee.
Thank you. I just wanted to follow up. First of all, I want to thank three of you guys, the nominees, for answering my question. And I thank you for, actually agreeing to give an answer. I'm aware of the fact that we're the legislative branch and the Supreme Court is the judicial branch that interprets the Constitution. No one's questioning, whether or not, senators are the ones that write laws or justices are the ones that write laws. My question was geared at trying to just hear a little bit from you all. Just like you said, Corbin, just hearing where you are in terms of the Constitution, seeing if you think, some things merit differences or not. I don't think that's out of line. And especially for, the three of you who, if confirmed, will be reviewing our Constitution quite a bit, making decisions. I don't think it's out of line that as a Senate, we try to figure out kind of where your guys' heads at. If you look at Supreme Court hearings for the actual Supreme Court in the United States, while details about specific cases are not asked, they do ask, certain, just scoping questions to get an idea of where you guys are at. So I thank you for the opportunity and I appreciate you guys answering the questions.
Thank you, Segee. Do we have any further questions? Senator Quinn did post the updated Constitution in the chat. I'm going to give us a few seconds. If there are no further questions, I would like to open up the breakout rooms to invite our nominees to leave us to those to join those breakout rooms while we deliberate here during the meeting. Let me just open those up. All right. Do not, well, I guess you can join if you're not a nominee, but if you are a nominee, please join this breakout room. If you are a senator, do not. All right. So now that our nominees are in the breakout room, I would like to just go through our list one by one, see here any arguments for and against, and then vote on each one individually. So arguments for and against Kerrigan, arguments for and against Corbin, arguments for and against Emma, and votings after each set of arguments. So do we have arguments in the affirmative for Kerrigan? Senator Slaney?
Hi, just before I get started, I want to make sure you guys can hear me okay. I had some
We
issues
can.
with my microphone earlier.
At least I can hear you. So I'm
Okay.
assuming everyone else can.
Perfect. Now I felt like during the questioning process, it seemed to me as if a lot of the candidates were kind of like piggybacking off Kerrigan's answers. Maybe she was just a little bit faster and she had a chance to answer first, but I felt like there was almost a lack of originality. And so I feel like she made a good point in getting her points across ahead of time, kind of giving the right and proper answer that other people felt was something that would kind of lead them to get more votes in the affirmative.
Senator Wood.
Yeah, I just like to say that I do feel that a lot of the responses from the candidates were very similar. However, I just like to point out, as someone who's gone through a similar process myself, it becomes kind of hard when you're asked a question like, do you believe there's something we should change about the Constitution? You obviously want to. I feel they would obviously want to say that there's always room for improvement. So I think that we can't look too terribly harshly on similar responses in those kinds of questions.
All right, President Pro Tem Boyer.
I'd just like to say that during our IAC meeting, they didn't really do that. I think they all gave pretty original answers to all of their questions. I'm just glancing at my notes from their answers, and I think they all gave fairly unique answers to our questions. And so I think that was just tonight. I think a lot of the questions could have had similar answers that were asked tonight. And I'd just like to say that I was not trying to discredit Sagi's question earlier. I was just trying to just probe them a little bit and just kind of see where their minds were in regards to that question. So just want to make that absolute clear.
Thank you. Senator Brooks.
Yeah, I'll just like to second what President Pro Tem Boyer said in the IAC meeting last week when we had asked them some pretty extensive questions. They all had varying answers to a degree. It wasn't much piggybacking, like he said, like the questions today. Kind of, I guess, pigeonholed them into piggybacking answers. They answered pretty honestly, pretty concisely and pretty succinctly.
Thank you. Senator Head.
Thank you. If I may, I have an argument against Ms. Rojas, and that's simply that I think she mentioned this as a leadership position a couple of times, and I don't see this as a leadership position. And so that was just kind of a red flag to me that maybe while her intentions are probably good, I'm not convinced that she understands the scope of the position 100%.
I just want to add, I completely agree with you, Ryan. The fact that the two other nominees are law school nominees and have that basis, and the fact that Kerrigan is not, I think is definitely a disadvantage for her. But even beyond that, I agree. I just don't think that she's as attuned to the requirements of this. And I just think that the other two have a lot more of relevant experience. So I appreciate what you said.
Do we have any other arguments in the negative for Kerrigan?
I wouldn't necessarily say it's in the negative. She is I think her brother used to serve on the court, or somebody familiar, super close to her. So that was like my only gripe last week. And I do understand the her framing with it being a leadership position. So I could definitely.
All right. President Pro Tem Boyer.
It's not really it's not in the negative. I'd just like to say, I think, we as an institution value diversity a lot, and I think diversity of thought is also very important. And so I think having a court that is made up of more than just law students is important in reflecting that diversity. And she is an undergrad, so I'm not sure I'm not sure what the exact court breakup is, but I think she might, if confirmed, would be like the second undergrad currently serving on the court. And so I think we have that important. I think it's important to remember that diversity of thought is also important.
Thank you. Do we have any further arguments for or against Kerrigan? If not, I would like to move for a roll call vote to confirm Kerrigan Rohach to the Supreme Court. Do we have Malavika?
I second.
Oh, thank you. Malavika,
Yes. Arts and Sciences Student Council,
I'll vote to confirm.
Block School Student Association,
I vote to confirm.
Collegiate Panhellenic Council, Conservatory Student Association,
I vote to confirm her.
Graduate Student Council,
I vote to confirm her.
okay. Interfraternity Council,
I apologize. I was can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, sorry. I do not vote to confirm her.
Medical School Advisory Council,
I vote to confirm her.
I vote to confirm her.
Multicultural Student Organization Council,
Vote to confirm.
Pharmacy Student Council,
I vote to confirm.
School of Biological and Chemical Sciences Student Council,
I vote to confirm.
I
Sorry.
vote to confirm.
School of Computing and Engineering Student Council,
I vote to confirm.
School of Dentistry Student Council,
School of Dentistry Student Council, I vote to confirm too. Sorry.
okay. School of Education Council,
I vote to confirm.
okay. Wait, could you say who you are and then say your vote?
School of Education Student Council, Jessica Metter, I vote to confirm.
Okay. School of Law,
School of Law, Ryan Head. I vote to deny. And I'm sorry, this is a bit unusual, but McGregor has texted me and said he is having a computer problem and asked if I could place a vote for him. Is that allowed?
yeah.
he has
I
also
believe so.
messaged me and I instructed him to message you, Malavika, or the general chat. So I am happy to accept his votes for these nominees through this
Luke,
meeting.
you should state the vote then.
All right. McGregor said yes to all three.
Okay. Sexuality and Gender Alliance Council, Student Athlete Advisory Council,
Student Athlete Advisory Council, Micaiah Mullins. I vote to confirm.
Student Council of Nursing and Health Studies,
Nursing and Health Studies, Joey Gamble, confirm.
Lizzie Johnson, confirm.
Senators at Large,
Siggy Rudnick voting to deny confirmation to the nominee.
And trans senator at large, I will abstain.
Anya Kumar, senator at large, I will abstain.
Okay. So there's 18 votes to confirm, 3 votes to deny, and 2 to abstain.
Okay. And I believe since we are in quorum, that does confirm Kerrigan to the court.
Correct.
Okay. Let us move on to nominate Corbin Healy. Do we have any arguments in the affirmative for Corbin?
I'd like to start this one off.
Senator Segee.
Absolutely. I think that of all the three, I think that he was by far, honestly, the most impressive, just from the taste that I got of the three during this meeting. He seems very engaged, and he actually seemed like he read the Constitution when I asked that question. He had an actual part, that he had in his head, and he actually had opinions on it in terms of potentially the fact that fleshing that out might be beneficial to the student body, which is something that, as a senator, who's tasked with, legislation, that's, a great thing for me to hear. So, yeah.
Thank you. Do we have any further arguments in the affirmative for Corbin? Do we have any arguments in the negative for Corbin? Thank you, Quinn. Senator Barry.
I'm not a senator. I'm not a senator. I just wanted to ask.
Not allowed to speak. I'm sorry.
Okay. Sorry. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. All right. If there are no further arguments in the affirmative or in the negative for Corbin Healy, I move to vote via roll call vote for his confirmation.
I second that.
Malavika, let's do this again.
Yep, Arts and Sciences Student Council.
College of Arts and Sciences Student Council, I vote to confirm. Lawrence Brooks.
Block School Student Association.
Matt Slaney, vote to confirm.
Collegiate Panhellenic Council.
I do know that Haley has been having connectivity issues as she is on the road right now, but I did not receive any messages from her in regards to her position.
Okay. Conservatory Student Association.
Red Boyer, CSA, I vote to confirm.
Graduate Student Council.
Graduate Student Council, Rupak Thapa, I vote to confirm.
Interfraternity Council.
Reesewood IFC, I vote to confirm.
Medical School Advisory Council.
Medical School Advisory Council, Stephanie Kim, I vote to confirm.
Multicultural Student Organization Council.
The Bill Boss vote to confirm.
National Panhellenic Council. Oh, they're absent. Pharmacy Student Council.
Amy Janowski, I vote to confirm.
School of Biological and Chemical Sciences Student Council.
I vote to confirm.
Christian Dang, I vote to confirm.
School of Computing and Engineering Student Council.
School of Computing and Engineering Student Council, Reagan Dunn, vote to confirm.
School of Dentistry Student Council.
School of Dentistry Student Council, Alexandria Thomas, I vote to confirm.
Mackenzie Williams, I vote to confirm.
School of Education Student Council.
School of Education Student Council, Jessica Metter, I vote to confirm.
School of Law.
School of Law, Ryan Head, I vote to confirm.
And Senator McGreenlee also voted to confirm.
Yeah. Sexuality and Gender Alliance Council. Oh, they're also absent. Student Athlete Advisory Council.
Student Athlete Advisory Council, Micaiah Mullins, I vote to confirm.
Student Council of Nursing and Health Studies.
Nursing Health Studies, Joey Gamble, confirm.
Lizzie Johnson, vote to confirm.
Senators at Large.
Sigi Rudnick, vote to confirm this nominee.
Quinn Tran, Senator at Large, I vote to confirm.
Senator at Large Anya Kumar, I vote to confirm.
Okay, that was a unanimous confirmation of 22.
Terrific. Corbin Healy has been confirmed to the Supreme Court. Now let us move on to nominee Emmett Kate Dillon. Do we have any arguments in the affirmative? Senator Head.
Thank you. I believe that of all the candidates, she was the one that kept the Constitution at the center of all of her arguments, and that was just the focus of everything she said. And I think that's extremely important for a Supreme Court justice. So with that in mind, she 100% has my endorsement.
Thank you, Senator Head. Senator Rudnick.
Just wanted to echo what Ryan said. I completely agree. The other thing I wanted to add is she mentioned that she just went through an extensive constitutional revision process over at University of Arkansas. And I think having someone who has, kind of been in the nitty gritty of constitutional analysis and, revisions, I think that's a great person to have on the court.
Thank you, Senator Rudnick. Do we have further arguments in the affirmative? Do we have any arguments in the negative for Emma Kate Dillon? If there are no further arguments, either in the affirmative or the negative, I move to roll call vote confirmation for Emma Kate Dillon.
I second that.
Malavika, third time's the charm.
Arts and Sciences Student Council.
Arts and Sciences Student Council, Lawrence Wilson IV, I vote to confirm.
Block School Student Association.
Block School Student Association, Matt Slaney, vote to confirm.
Collegiate Panhellenic Council, if Haley Prince is available. Conservatory Student Association.
Fred Boyer, I vote to confirm.
Graduate Student Council.
Rupak Thapa, I vote to confirm.
Interfraternity Council.
Reese Wood, IFC, I vote to confirm.
Medical School Advisory Council.
Medical School Advisory Council, Stephanie Kim, I vote to confirm.
Medical School Advisory Council, Erica and Polly, vote to confirm.
Multicultural Student Organization Council.
Vote to confirm.
Nash or Pharmacy Student Council.
Amy Janowski, I vote to confirm.
Zach Painter, vote to confirm.
School of Biological and Chemical Sciences Student Council.
I vote to confirm.
Christian Ding, I vote to confirm.
School of Computing and Engineering Student Council.
School of Computing and Engineering Student Council, Reagan Dunn, confirm.
School of Dentistry Student Council.
School of Dentistry Student Council, Alexandria Thomas, vote to confirm.
Mackenzie Williams to confirm.
School of Education Council.
School of Education Council, Jessica Metter, I vote to confirm.
School of Law.
School of Law, Ryan Head, vote to confirm.
Okay, and McGregor said confirm. Student Athlete Advisory Council.
Student Athlete Advisory Council, Micaiah Mullins, I vote to confirm.
Student Council of Nursing and Health Studies.
Nursing and Health Studies, Joey Gamble, confirm.
Lizzie Johnson, I vote to confirm.
Senators at Large.
Quinn Tran, Senator at Large, I vote to confirm.
Sagi Rudnick, Senator at Large, I vote to confirm.
Anya Kumar, Senator at Large, I vote to confirm.
That was also unanimous confirmation.
Nominee Emma Kate Dillon has been confirmed to the Supreme Court. And as all three nominees have been confirmed, I will close the breakout room now and bring them back to make the formal announcement to them. We'll give it till the breakout room automatically closes. I forgot to do well, actually, I don't think I can force close without ending the meeting. Senator Rojas, Corbin Healy, where is Emma? Did she go?
She's here.
I had difficulties, but I made it.
Okay, sorry. It still shows you as joined in the breakout room for some reason. All right. So I am pleased to announce that the Senate has confirmed all three of you.
Congratulations.
To the UMKC Supreme Court.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, we do not have a representative that is sworn in to the court now to actually conduct the swearing in. So this will have to happen at a later date. We are going to be talking with Morgan about this to get this arranged, hopefully recorded or publicized, so that way everyone can see how can see the amazing folk that we have just confirmed to serve on the court. All right. Now, without trying to make this seem like small potatoes compared to what we're about to do next, I would like to invite Senator Tran to share her screen with the Act 2 increase at large positions. New Supreme Court justices, you are free to leave the meeting now. Thank you so much and congratulations.
Thanks so much.
Senator Tran.
Can you stop sharing your screen, please?
Oh, my bad. Almost completely forgot about that.
Can everyone see this okay?
I can see it. I cannot see
Also,
anyone else.
Also, if I cut out, please let me know. I'm in a study room now, and internet in a study room is like not that great.
Internet
Anyways,
on campus is horrible.
yes. Anyways, again, this is just an act to increase at-large positions with the restructuring of the academic units. We have a total loss of 4 seats, so we're just adding those to the at-large seats. So this number will change to 9. I feel like it's very self-explanatory, and with that, I shall yield the rest of my time.
Thank you, Senator Tran. I would like to open up the floor to any discussion in regards to this proposal. So Tate Berry, who is in the peanut gallery, has asked me in regards to the block school, since Kerrigan is no longer a senator for the block school, is he able to serve as an alternate mid-meeting or?
Yes, he can, and thank you for being here.
All right.
A point of order, Duke.
Yes.
Just real quickly, I was actually, thank you for bringing that up. I was wondering, so with Kerrigan now being a justice-elect, does that automatically mean she's resigned, or does there need to be a resigning, like, is there like a process? Does she have to turn anything in?
No.
No.
She's resigned.
Okay, cool.
Thank you. Tate is now the senator. So block school, thank you for thinking ahead and sending your senator.
Yes, this makes things so much easier for me. Now, sorry, Brett Boyer, for keeping you waiting. You have the floor.
It's okay. First I have a question. Did we look at this last time, right? If I remember correctly?
Yes, this is the second reading, and we will be conducting a vote.
Okay, then with that point of order, wasn't this assigned to the Senate Resolution Committee for consideration? And they said they did not meet, so technically, can we vote on this without this having gone through the committee?
I am unsure. Todd?
We should not. I didn't realize that it didn't get a committee approval.
That is interesting. That case, all right. Back to share screen. Yeah, no, I think I might have dropped the ball on that. I believe I was supposed to send a couple of documents, and I think that slipped my mind this week. So we will be voting next time, assuming it passes the Senate Resolutions Committee. Officer reports. Sorry, I keep forgetting that I don't have like an individual section for officer reports. President Wen, what is your report?
Hello, everyone. I just wanted to share a little bit about SR 15 with that timeline as requested at a previous FYC meeting this past Thursday. Thank you, Quinn, for bringing up this matter. So what we want your guys' help with as SGA, for us to be as a team, the executive branch working hand in hand with the all 3 branches, and especially with this passing through the Senate, is being able to appoint and have a committee of willing senators who would like to be a part of this SR 15 for us to enact it and for us to work towards in hands with the Women's Care Center here at UMKC. So if there's any senators that are willing to take charge and help lead this effort, please let us know. You can email me and CC Duke so we can take those necessary steps to make sure that we connect with the Women's Center and allow us to get started with the next steps of SR 15. In addition, in terms of what is going to happen in the next coming weeks, we just want to let you guys be the first to know, to be aware of the event of having a concert here at UMKC. And we want to just remind you of this large scale event where within the students' activities fees that we are trying to build community. You know, the why behind a concert is to bring students together, to unite students. With the student activity fees, that sort of money sort of color in the sense of for the last couple of years at UMKC, where we're able to bring in the community, bring in UMKC students, freshmen to seniors, to have that bonding experience, to kind of picture that perfect UMKC experience during their time here at UMKC. Thank you.
Thank you, President Wen. Madam Vice President Abigail Weiler, what is your report?
Everyone, I hope you all had a great past 2 weeks. First, I want to apologize for not having my camera on until about 5 minutes ago. I was driving to my internship in Jeff City, and unfortunately the drive often runs into this meeting, so apologies for that. I have a couple updates. First is I went to the Rue Pantry Food Insecurity Task Force meeting today that meets once every 3 months with various faculty and staff, including Sue Agarwal. And we kind of just got some updates on the Rue Pantry that I wanted to share with you all, including some numbers. So from fall of last year, from the beginning of this school year to now, they've distributed over 30,000 pounds of food to students, faculty, and staff. And in addition to that, as they started their meal swipe program, I believe last year or the year before, that has been really successful, donating leftover meal swipes to students that will utilize that. And then I also just wanted to emphasize that in your positions, you can kind of get the word out about the Rue Pantry and that anyone can use it on campus. So make sure to encourage people to utilize that if they'd like. Also that you can volunteer with your own groups, or you can do a donation drive. They really appreciate all of the help. So just reach out to me or to the Rue Pantry directly if you want to get involved with that. And then I do have another update on the blood drive that is being planned. The date for that is going to be Thursday, April 24th. And we will need help with promotion on that day and volunteers on that day. So I'll have a sign up in the next couple, either next meeting or the week after about that. We really appreciate the success that last blood drive was. So we're going to try to replicate that this semester. And then one other thing I just wanted to plug was our KC Athletics basketball team. I attended a game on Saturday it was, and they're really trying to get a high amount of student involvement to go to those. They're free games. They're really fun. The atmospheres are really great. And our team is doing amazing. We won, and I think we're number 3 in the conference, something like that. So it's a really cool environment. I'll be there this Thursday at 7 is their next game. I believe they're giving out free pizza and other freebies. So I hope to see you all there. And Todd's there too, handing out the pizza, so you can see him.
Thank you. Thank you. Comptroller Kyle Potts, what is your report?
Yeah, so we had a SAFC meeting last week, and at that meeting, we approved $18,323.20 to student orgs. At that meeting, we also recognized that we have a lot of money that we're still able to spend, and so the committee voted to raise the event by event per org cap from $3,100, and we lifted it up to $500, and that will be in effect for the remainder of the school year.
Thank you, Kyle. And Internal Affairs Director Malavika, what is your report?
Yeah, so mainly just one concern. We're missing like a senator for the Arts and Sciences Student Council, and I also think we're missing a permanent Computing and Engineering Student Council senator. So if you could reach out to Duke and I about that, that would be much appreciated. I know there's some other changes that have been happening, but thank you to those of you who have reached out about that. That's it.
Thank you. So, as there are no other reports really, I would like to conduct open forums for a few minutes. If anybody has any thing to talk about here, this would be the time to do so. Senator Mullins.
I just wanted to piggyback off of Abigail. During the basketball games, Salk is doing a food drive, and they've actually partnered with the Kangaroo Pantry. It's called the Summit League Food Fight, and we're competing against other schools in our conference to basically see who can raise the most money. And actually, you can bring like canned goods, and they weigh it. And basically, we're just going against other schools to see who can raise the most for their school. And so there's food drives there, and if you bring, I think it's 3 canned goods, then you get a cool headband. So that's also an incentive to go and donate.
Thank you. Senator Rudnick.
There we go. Thanks, Duke. I just wanted to plug 2 events that are going on this week. I'm putting on a different hat as the chapter president of the UMKC chapter of ASUM, which is the Associated Students of the University of Missouri. So the first event I wanted to plug is going on tomorrow. It's called Cookies with the Chief of Staff, and it's on Zoom. We're going to be hearing from Senator Tony Luetkemeyer, Chief of Staff. That state senator, he represents part of the KC Northland, has been a great friend to ASUM and to the system in general. So we're going to be hearing from his chief of staff about kind of the day-to-day, what goes on in, a senator's office. How does that work? And then there'll also be a Q&A session. Additionally, an hour beforehand, there will be cookies available in the ASUM office 303J. In the student union, and there will also be a $15 Rubux raffle for that event for everyone who stays till the end. So that's tomorrow. And then the other event I wanted to highlight here real quick is going on Wednesday. It's the Black Entrepreneurship Panel. I can't say the word entrepreneurship. Okay, well, of course that time I said it right. Well, excuse that, y'all. But anyway, that's going on Wednesday at 5:30. It's going to be in the student union. And we're going to have a lot of great panelists there. By we, I guess I shouldn't say we, because ASUM it isn't the one that made this event happen. However, ASUM is going to be doing voter registration at this event. We're partnering with the folks who made this event happen. So at the end of the panel discussion, there will be a networking period. And at that point, myself, joined by our voting engagement coordinator, we're going to have a table there. So if you have any questions about your voter registration, if you're not registered, anything like that, please stop by that event and stop by our table.
Thank you. Senator Prinz.
Hello. I just had a question. So who would I ask for the new amounts chapters can request from the SAFC? So I could give that figure to the people I need to give that to.
That would be me.
And okay, okay.
Do you want to DM me your email, Haley, and I will email you?
Yes, I'll go ahead and put my email in the chat.
Okay.
Thank you. Andrew, I'm sorry, I'm not going to.
Oh, no. It's all right. Yeah, my last name is horrible. It's like the first and last letter aren't there. But as a member of the community, as well as a member of the UMKC community, I would like to echo President Nguyen's thoughts about our ability to engage not only as a campus, but as well with the community. I think that he has a solid plan moving forward. I think there may be some logistical difficulties moving forward, but that we really do need to utilize any avenue that we can find in order to create a more cohesive environment for our academic community. And perhaps, this is through a concert or, any other thing that we can do to move forward, because the unfortunate results of a pandemic have that it's really fractured what was a very cohesive environment at our university, and we need to do everything to rebuild it. And I think that he has a solid plan moving forward, and that we at least need to examine that, if not embrace it. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Andrew. If there are no further items to be talked about during this open forum, I would like to motion, or I would like to move to adjourn this meeting.
I second that motion.
All right, then at 7:19 p.m. I adjourn this meeting. Thank you all for coming.